What's up, Instagram? Oh my goodness, it has been a really long time since I have went live on here. Crazy, right? So, for those of you that don't know, my name is April Rozier, and for those of you that do know, well, hello, good to see you again. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being on here. I'm going to make this quick and fast. I just had a couple of things on my heart, and it was just, I seen something today, and it just kind of, and it's just staying on my heart. So I just have a couple of things I wanted to say. Let's start with, first of all, I don't know about your school, but it's back to school time here in Georgia, in North Georgia for our kids. They started back on Wednesday, and I don't know how school supplies work with y'all, but for us, it's kind of like, we buy a lot. Like, we have to buy, of course, everything our kids need, like pencils and crayons and color pencils, notebooks, folders, just all the essentials that they need. Scissors, pencil sharpeners, all that good old stuff. We have to buy all that. And I personally don't see a problem with it. But on top of that, we also have to buy, like, paper towels for the classroom, Clorox wipes, dry eraser markers for the teacher, highlighters for the teacher, Kleenexes, baby wipes, stuff like that, hand sanitizer, all this other good stuff. Well, first of all, so many people are screaming about how that's the school's job. We shouldn't provide stuff for the classroom. Well, if you've ever seen a school budget, you know that they don't really budget for a whole lot of class supplies. And the teachers, which I'm not a teacher, and I'm not like some big, huge teacher advocate because, I got a ton of friends that are teachers. It's not like that. I don't have a ton of friends that are teachers, and I'm not a teacher, and honestly, I've never wanted to be a teacher. But I appreciate the hell out of teachers. Why? Because they educate my child. And because last semester of last year, I took my kid out of school and I homeschooled her. And it ain't as easy as people think it is to homeschool a child. It's not as easy, especially if you're really doing the work. If you're... It's just the fan, babe. If you're really doing the work, like the school assignments, and you're not making everyday field trip day or anything like that, it's actually a good bit of work. And that's with one kid. So imagine having a classroom of like 22 children. You're buying supplies to decorate. You're buying supplies for kids that don't have stuff. And because there are kids whose parents send them to school with no school supplies because they literally couldn't afford them. They just couldn't. It was either pay my light bill or buy school supplies. It was either, my water's going to get shut off or I buy the school supplies. So there's parents out there that just can't afford it. They're doing the best they can. Hey, Sean, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. So these parents are out there, they're doing the best they can, but they can't afford the school supplies. So what? You have the money to buy your kids school supplies and you have the money to buy extra, but you don't and you won't because that's the school's job. So you'll let a kid be punished because their parents, I literally listened to somebody say earlier, you bred them, you support them. Now I understand that in so many ways. I understand that you don't feel like you should take care of other people's children. I don't want to have to take care of other people's children either. But I'm not going to let a child go without because somebody's parents fell on hard times. Buy an extra box of crayons, people. It's an extra box of crayons. And if you can't, can't afford it, that's great. I understand that. But from someone that can afford it to say that they're just not going to because they shouldn't have to. You're right, you shouldn't have to. But that's the world we live in. We live in a world full of people that have fell on hard times. They fell on hard times. It happens. People, it happens. Do you know that, of course, minimum wage is not $2.50, but when you go and you average out the person's yearly income along with all the taxes and stuff like that, the average person only makes $2.50 an hour when you tax out everything and you go against their bills and stuff. Most people are left with more bills at the end of the month than they have money, or they're left with more month than they are money. Their bills are not getting paid, and their children are suffering. Their children are suffering. And you can't buy an extra box of crayon, and then you want to go on social media and shame people? For what? Does it really make you feel so righteous that you make more money than the average person? Well, guess what? A lot of us make more money than the average person because the average person doesn't make very much. We are in a state where most people are in a poverty state. That's just how it is. That's how they're living. And they're doing the best they can with what they have. So, I ain't saying everybody has to have a giving heart, but I am saying that remember, what goes around comes around. What you put out is what you get back. So, you can be cold-hearted, but remember, when you're saying that these people bred these children and that they should be taking care of them, you're not punishing the parent. You're punishing the child. They're children. So you bought a couple of extra boxes of crayons. So you bought an extra pack of paper to help somebody else out because they couldn't. I bought my daughter school supplies, and I bought double of everything because I know that last year at least 3 students in her class didn't have the stuff on the list. At least 3 came with nothing. They had nothing. They had a book bag, and that was it. No folders, no crayons, no nothing. And what's the teacher supposed to say? I'm sorry, no parents gave extra, and your mommy and daddy couldn't afford it, so you just don't have what you need to get your education. I'm not trying to shame anybody into helping. If you're not a helpful person, if you don't like to give back, that's fine. It really is. But don't go shame people on social media, making them feel like horrible parents because they fell on bad times. You don't ever know someone's situation. And whereas somebody might have bred kids, hey, Ashley, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. And whereas somebody might have bred these kids, they had them, and now they're struggling to pay for them. First of all, that ain't your business. And second of all, you don't know what caused that. I can tell you right now, I have a daughter that's almost 9 years old, and I've been a single mom since the day she was born, and that was not planned. Not for a second did I ever think I would bring a child into this world and not have a father for her. I never for 1 second thought that. Now, I've made it work, and I've raised my daughter on my own, and she doesn't want for nothing. But I got lucky. Not everyone does. How about all these many mothers that have, 3, 4 children, and then their husband dies? Do you think they want to have to ask for help? Nobody wants to have to say, hey, I can't feed my kid. Nobody wants to go to the DFACS office and apply for food stamps. So, when you are being hateful and nasty on Facebook or Instagram or any other social media platform, remember that you don't know what these people are going through and what put them in the situations they're in. You have no clue. Anyway, I hope this touches somebody. I hope y'all get something out of this. I hope y'all learn something about compassion. And if you can't have compassion, please keep your mouth shut. There's no reason to shame somebody when they already feel crappy enough. And I can promise you they do. Ain't no mother want to admit she can't take care of her kid by herself. That is not something any mother wants to admit. So these people are, you're complaining about a box of crayons, a little bit of paper. I don't know what's going on in your life, so I can't really judge you either. But I can say that you're putting it out there when you get on social media, saying that you label all your kids' stuff, and that you ain't sharing nothing because you shouldn't have to support somebody else's kids, and that you ain't helping none of these kids. You ain't buying no extra supplies. You ain't buying no school classroom supplies. You put it out there for somebody else to judge. But these mothers and these children, they didn't do anything to you. So if you don't want to buy extra school supplies, please don't. Don't. There's many of us that will. But there's no reason for you to shame somebody on social media about it. There's no reason for it. There's no reason to be hateful and ugly about anything, ever. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Love people, don't love people, that's okay. But remember that karma will come back. And when it does come back to you, you're going to wish you didn't do half the things you've done in life as it is. I know I got plenty of things that I don't have regrets. I have lessons learned. I've made a million mistakes. But I can't regret my life because it brought me to who I am now. It brought me to the things I have now. So I won't say that I regret anything I've done. Because I am who I am because of everything I've ever done or everything that's ever happened to me. But if you haven't been a great person and karma comes back to you, you might have some regrets. People can say a lot about me. Bad, good, okay. People can run their mouth a lot and say a lot of bad things about me that are probably true. But the one thing I've never been is hateful, spiteful, venomous. I've never just literally called people out and shamed people and made them feel bad for falling on hard times. And God forbid that you ever do. The best thing and the best feeling in the world is giving to somebody and watching their eyes light up and tears form in their eyes. But even if you don't get that, even if you don't get a thank you, you still feel good in your heart knowing you did it. I do Wealth Wednesday all the time, and I do it in a way that no one will ever know it was me. I put something in a diaper box or a medicine box or a formula can with the lid on it, and I don't sign my name and put a phone number on it. These people won't never know it was me, but I know it was me. And that's all that matters, is that I know it was me. And the only other person that knows and matters is my daughter, because she's watching everything I do, just like your children are watching everything y'all do. So maybe you was having a bad day, but I see lots of people complaining about school supplies. Lots. And I just don't see the point. If you don't want to buy extras, just don't buy them. But I know here where I live, teachers come out of their pocket a lot of money to buy the decorations, the food that parents don't bring to parties, the supplies that kids don't have. Teachers come out of their pocket for that. And they don't make a whole lot of money around here. Because they want what's best for your children. Because they want to teach your children. They don't want your children to feel left out or to be ashamed. They're doing everything they can to make all children feel loved and equal. Maybe you could learn something from that. So that is the end of my rant on why you should be a better person. And if you're not going to be, don't shame other people on Facebook. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Wherever y'all are. Whether it's day or night. You can see it's nighttime here. So, day or night, I hope you have a wonderful one. And I will talk to you all next time. Love y'all bunches. Good night.